4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, January 28th, 2022. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Gardening and painting can be therapeutic for many, but for a group of women in Wetumpka, the activities mean a little more. Claudia Peppenhorst gives us a look into a new exhibit at the IAC and how it impacted the lives of the incarcerated.
The International Arts Center is now home to a new exhibit that is years in the making, Garden of Perseverance. The exhibit features artwork from incarcerated women from the Julia Tutwiler Prison for Women in Wetumpka, Alabama. The gardening program started with a focus on horticulture and nutrition until Dr. Everhart, co-creator of the program, felt like something was missing.
I knew that there was a piece in the programming that was missing, but I wasn't quite sure what it was until I really started listening to the women and listen to what they use as outlets to kind of escape being incarcerated. And one of the things that they do as a calming activity is art in any capacity.
A 15-week program was created teaching women skills in agriculture and art. Dr. Berwager, a Troy University art professor, led the women through weekly classes, teaching them techniques, all the while taking inspiration from the garden for the artwork.
For all of them, in one way, shape, or form, you see the gardening program, which has been the component, the anchor, if you will, the anchoring component of the program in all of the art. So there is an interweaving of different skill sets and activities that we take them through, all with this idea of skill building.
Dr. Everhart says that the program had a bigger meaning than just painting and gardening. Throughout the 15 weeks, the women learned valuable skills that they could use to possibly make money after being released from prison.
Really what the aim behind all of this, while art is fun, it is teaching them a skill. It is something that they could make money with on the outside, as well as gardening and the horticulture component. This is an agricultural state. There is a lot of need for farm work.
The paintings on display in the exhibit are for sale for $50 a painting, and the proceeds will go directly to the inmate artist. If you would like to purchase a painting, you can contact Dr. Everhart at 419-902-1396 for more information. Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
While the country remembered the life of Martin Luther King on the national holiday created in his honor, Troy University students took time last Thursday to recognize the work done by the civil rights icon. Kaylee Wright has the story.
Yesterday, Freshman Forum celebrated the life of Martin Luther King Jr. This ceremony not only celebrated his fight for equal rights, but also who he was as a person.
He was more than just about the nonviolence. He was also about service. So that's why we did the canned food drive, because we wanted to really focus on the service part and not just the marching and the speeches.
King made a tremendous impact through servant leadership, a quality that has inspired Freshman Forum and the numerous organizations that attended the ceremony.
In Freshman Forum, we try to put on events and do community service projects to help students throughout the campus and really try to give back to our community and give back to our school.
The MLK ceremony consisted of Freshman Forum members reciting King's "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech and students sharing their favorite MLK quotes.
My favorite MLK quote was, it's a quote that I've actually known for a little while. It's time. Time is neutral. It can be used constructively or deconstructively. Time.
Freshman Forum had to change the location of the MLK Celebration due to bad weather. However, its new location is still significant.
Yes, I do know Martin Luther King is the one who gave John Robert Lewis the nickname Boy from Troy. And so I think that's real significant that we are in John Robert Lewis building to give his friend a ceremony in his own building.
Kaylee Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University's Student Government Association is looking to add to its ranks as it begins the spring semester. Emma Ellis has more on how students can get involved.
Troy University's Student Government Association is in its second week of Senate meetings. However, the seats at those meetings are not completely full. The SGA is currently looking for new senators to fill vacancies left after the fall semester.
So right now we're really working on our vacancy elections. We have 14 available spots in the Senate. We're looking forward to students being able to come out and apply for those applications. We have housing applications, we have at-large seats, plenty of opportunities for the students to get involved, be able to be a part of SGA, and expand their opportunities in leadership here at Troy University.
The Senate vacancy election is one of 3 different applications currently available for students through the SGA right now.
On our SGA Instagram, there's a Linktree link in our bio. If you click that Linktree, it'll take you to all 3 applications. We also have Most Outstanding Women applications and also Mr. and Mrs. Trojan Pride applications there as well. So go ahead and apply for those because they're all right there in that Linktree. It'll take you to them.
George says that he has high hopes for the spring, including adding more opportunities for student involvement.
We're really looking forward to serving the student body this semester. We have a lot of events that we want to plan, a lot of ways we want to engage the students, and also we want to make sure we get out to our sporting events, especially this Saturday when we play South Alabama at home.
The deadline to apply for the Senate vacancy election will be Wednesday, February 2nd. Emma Ellis, Troy, TrojanVision News.
This weekend, a new Miss Troy University will be crowned as the Miss Troy pageant is scheduled for Saturday night in the Trojan Center Theater. Robin Olds gives us a preview of what to expect from this year's pageant.
The Miss Troy University pageant will return to the stage this weekend. The pageant was not held last year due to COVID. Reigning Miss Troy Eden Hips says the return of the pageant marks a return to normalcy.
I'm honestly really glad that the legacy of Miss Troy University is going to continue. During COVID, things have been so uncertain, and I was worried that, things like pageants would fall by the wayside and people would lose interest because a lot of our perspectives have been altered this year. We've kind of really learned to keep the main thing, and I'm glad that pageants are still relevant.
Due to there being no pageant last year, Hips actually served as Miss Troy for 2 years. She was crowned in 2020 and says she was grateful to be able to have the opportunity to serve during that time period.
It was honestly very much a shock when I found out that I was going to get to be Miss Troy University for 2 years, but having the opportunity to network on campus and meet people from all walks of life who are here at Troy has been super awesome. It's extended my reach. I've been able to talk a lot more about my platform, which is the significance of the Little Red Heart. I've been able to volunteer more and things like that, so it's been really awesome getting to live out this dream for 2 years instead of just 1.
As Miss Troy, Hips represented Troy University in the Miss Alabama pageant and shares her experience at the state level.
I was able to meet and spend the week with 40 other girls from across the state who are in all different areas of life, and it was really cool to see how we all came together for our common interests, which is pageantry and our social impact initiatives and earning scholarship money. I was awarded $2,000 in scholarship that I've been able to use at Troy, and that's been super awesome and super helpful. So the Miss Alabama organization really is about more than just pageants.
The next Miss Troy will head to Miss Alabama as well. Hips gives her advice to the next winner.
The best advice that I could give to the future Miss Troy is to really take advantage of every second. While I did get 2 years as Miss Troy University, a lot of that time was taken away because the university was shut down. So really just take advantage of all your time on campus, meet as many people as you can, and talk to as many people as you can, because you'll never know when you make a connection that can change your life.
The pageant will be this Saturday in the Trojan Center Theater. Robin O's, Troy TrojanVision News.
A famous Pike County moonshine will soon be made legally in the city of Troy as the first steps in the construction of the long-awaited Clyde May Distillery were taken on Monday morning. Claudia Peppenhorst has the details.
1, 2, 3.
A groundbreaking moment for the city of Troy as they break ground on the new Clyde May Distillery. The event held at the location of the upcoming distillery featured speakers from Clyde May's family and Governor Kay Ivey, who says this distillery will be a destination spot for the state of Alabama.
Well, this groundbreaking ceremony for Clyde May's fine whiskey has now been recognized as the official state spirit of Alabama. We have as many of the Clyde May family here is extra special, so it's a great day for Troy. It's going to be a tourist destination for people to come and tour and maybe have a sip.
Clyde May's company was born in Troy, Alabama, originally starting as a moonshiner in 1946. The whiskey was named the official state spirit in 2004 after the state legislature voiced that they felt Clyde May embodied a true Alabama citizen. L.C. May, grandson of Clyde May, says he is honored to bring this company back home to Troy.
It's hard for me to put into words how much this means, obviously for the city and for the state, but for our family. You know, my grandfather worked so hard his entire life to make something special, and he had to do it in a way where he couldn't brag about it or talk about it as a moonshiner. But we are just so honored that we're able to come home right here in his backyard to build this state-of-the-art distillery.
Clyde May's is the official state spirit of Alabama, and the distillery is expected to be a tourism destination for the state. Governor Ivey says this groundbreaking ceremony is just the beginning of bringing new people from all over into the city of Troy.
Well, it's going to employ some more people here, that's for sure, and also it's going to be a tourist destination. A lot of people from in-state and around the country are going to come to see this facility, and that's a good thing for Troy.
Phase 1 of construction is the actual distillery, where the whiskey will be aged in barrels and bottled. Phase 2 and 3 will follow soon after, which will begin the construction of the tourism side of the distillery. Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how students can learn about the history of the civilian side of the Air Force here at Troy. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
It's been said that a kind word can go a long way, and that's what Troy University's Trojan Outreach was hoping for on Monday with an event designed to give students some encouragement to others. Taylor Wayman has the story.
Confidence is definitely not an easy mindset to stay in, especially for college students. Tuesday, Troy's outreach program gave students a way to keep themselves uplifted while uplifting their fellow peers.
We made little cards, and we're having people write affirmations or just like a word of encouragement to all the Troy students, and then they can also pick up one that a student has already written. So it's really nice getting people just to notice what they love about themselves and what they love about others.
Students wrote down a positive affirmation and placed their note in a pile for another student to pick up and take with them.
Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. So how do Troy students stay uplifted and positive during a busy semester? The Trojan Outreach program has the answer for that by allowing students to write down a positive affirmation for another student while picking up one for themselves.
We think a lot about ourselves and our appearance and how we show ourselves to other people, and this event helps kind of just get people out of their own heads thinking about others, not just themselves, as far as writing something else that someone else might want to hear. And also a lot of the encouragements aren't just about physical aspects of someone. They're about you're smart, or you're kind, or you're a good friend, that kind of stuff. So it just gets people thinking.
Troy's outreach program wants this event to help place students in a mindset of gratitude so that they can manage throughout anything that gets thrown at them throughout their college career.
It's a chance for students to focus on not only encouraging themselves, but leaving something for others. So it's, you take an affirmation and you leave an affirmation, because I think it's important for us to not only uplift ourselves, but uplift others, especially while we're all going through the different phases of college.
It's not just everything's just predetermined and preset. These are like actual words from actual people.
You can stay up to date with the Trojan Outreach program's monthly events by visiting their social media page at Trojan_Outreach. Taylor Wayman, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The university library is a place for students to learn about any variety of topics just by picking up a book. However, right now the library is educating students on the civilian side of the United States Air Force through a poster display. Kaylee Wright gives us a look.
Students and faculty are able to learn about the history of the Civil Air Patrol through a display in the library. Kelly Reeves, the Interlibrary Loan Coordinator, said that the Civil Air Patrol has origins in World War II, when an American pilot noticed Germany's aviation in 1938 and recommended that we needed a stronger national aviation.
For the next couple of years, and of course with Pearl Harbor, that sort of pushed it in 1941, that sort of pushed it over the edge, and they established the Civil Air Patrol in 1941.
Reeves said there is at least one Civil Air Patrol unit in each state, and there are 17 in the state of Alabama, including one in Montgomery.
There's actually the Montgomery area squadron for the Civil Air Patrol that's stationed on Maxwell Air Force Base.
The Civil Air Patrol was originally a part of the Army Air Corps before the creation of the Air Force in 1947. Now it's a part of the United States Air Force Auxiliary. However, the difference between the Civil Air Patrol and other wings of aviation is that they are non-combatant and volunteer-based.
Generally, you're going to find that they're retired pilots who are volunteering their service. Things that they do frequently today is that they provide flights for people in need of medical care. They also assist in search and rescue. They'll work with the Coast Guard in search and rescue. They also will do hurricane or disaster relief.
Dining hall with full bellies, but Wednesday night some students left with some prizes if they were the top trivia team in the house. Kadarius Brown gives us a look.
What's a student-led organization that's hosting a game night in this room? That's right, you guessed it. Troy University's Activity Council is hosting a game night for students to get the chance to test their trivia skills for a multitude of door prizes.
The UAC hosted a trivia competition Wednesday night in the university dining hall. With snacks on site, participants were in groups of 6 to 8 as their trivia skills were put to the test. The University Activity Council's Public Relations Officer, Caitlin Blackman, tells more about the UAC Trivia Night.
The event was Trivia Night. We had it in a different location this time. We had it upstairs in the dining hall. Thought it would be pretty cool to have it up here. So we brought in challenge trivia out of Birmingham.
As tension filled the air, students began to show their competitive side. Seeing the prizes that awaits the winners may have been a very helpful motivator.
We had so many prizes. I think we had like 13 prizes or whatever. We had an iced coffee maker. We had a sound bar. It was a great event. We had free food, free drinks. As always, our USC events are always free. So I think students really had a good time. I know I did. So
one of the student participants and winners, Marcellus Martin, gives a recount on his time at the trivia night.
Trivia night was really fun. I got to meet some people I never really met before, work together to come in first place, and that was pretty fun. Being able to just come out on the middle of a school night and just, kind of relax after a hard week is pretty nice. So I won a Roku. It felt pretty nice to win, to be able to work again with other people that I've never met before.
Now, this isn't 20 questions, but who is the best student journalist that just reported this story? That's right, you've guessed it. Kadarius Brown, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're 3 weeks into 2022, and of course, a new year usually means New Year's resolutions for many people. However, how many people are still sticking to those resolutions? Mackenzie Foster hit the campus to find out.
With starting a new year, some may set some New Year's resolutions in order to improve themselves and their lifestyle. Some students decide to tell us about their own personal resolutions.
Well, I didn't make any specific New Year's resolutions, but I have just been trying to get out and be active and just trying to be a healthier version of myself this year.
One of my New Year's resolutions was to work out more and kind of work on my self-help
health a little bit more?
Well, one of them that I'm currently working on right now is connecting with myself spiritually, like finding my spiritual self and stuff. So like a lot has happened in the past last year, so I'm trying to like reconnect my inner self with myself.
I had the stereotypical New Year's resolution of working out more, as everybody else does. So I'm gonna try to lose a little more weight, get a little more tone.
Some other things I want to do is definitely work on my mental health, that's for sure, because you know COVID really did a big deal on people, either like staying inside all the time. So I definitely want to have more of a social life now that it's over with. So just anything to get me outdoors, feel some air.
And as Troy University students are almost a month into 2022, they are trying to push through their coursework and the cold weather to hold up their end of the deal with their resolutions.
It's going fine weather-wise because I just come in here and it's warm in here. The course load, it's been easy right now. Most of my classes are in the afternoon, so I can come in the morning and I can get it done. But the work started to pick up, so it might be a little harder now that the work's picked up, but I'm going to try to stick with it.
It has been easy, but it's also been kind of difficult because, you know, some mornings it's cold, I don't want to get up. But so far I've been doing good at it, and so I hope to keep it that way.
I feel like for right now it's easy. Then like once I get like a long school's always been like stressful for me, so I feel like if I'm in like a good headspace, then everything will like just flow smoothly.
It's definitely been a little more difficult as this is my senior year. Classes have been kind of difficult. And the weather hasn't really been cooperating, and I know it's tough to get out and go work out when it's cold and it's not fun to be outside, but I've been really trying to be proactive about working out more.
As far as like that social aspect, I am getting out the dorm more, whether it's just going for a walk with the gang or if we're just like outside playing cards. But so far I'm doing good. I haven't broken away from that.
It's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about a women's symposium being held next week by the Sorrel College of Business. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
The Sorrel College of Business is putting the focus on successful female entrepreneurs next week. We'll learn more about the event in today's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Patrick George from the Sorrel 360 Center here at Troy University, here to talk about an event coming up with the Sorrel 360 Center. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for inviting me, Aaron.
And this event is a women's symposium coming up here in a little bit, part of a larger event kind of welcoming in the Sorrel 360 Center to Troy University, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will start off the week with a club expo going on in the atrium at the in John Robert Lewis Hall. That's where our internal clubs and organizations have a chance to display their organization, try to talk to new members or potential new members. Throughout the week, we'll have 2 resume reviews that the students will have an opportunity to improve upon their resume, and that's being sponsored by the marketing department or the marketing club here at in the College of Business. Then we'll have on the Wednesday night, we'll have an open house for the 360 Center.
Okay.
There's a panel of business leaders here in Troy. We'll be talking about their expectations, welcoming us in, and hopefully looking at partnerships within those that group of people. And then we'll have on Thursday the Women's Symposium, and that's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the Trojan Center Ballroom. And we'll have a panel of female movers and shakers here in Pike County in Troy, Alabama, and they'll be sharing, or we'll have an open conversation with our female students. And male students are welcome to come, but we are hyper focusing on our female student leaders, giving them some insight for their future outside of college, or maybe in college. What happens after they walk across the stage? What will they possibly face as they look towards being successful in the marketplace?
And of course, that's one of those things is, I know the 360 Center is set up to establish connections with the business community and to prepare students for that future when they leave school. And this seems like a valuable opportunity, especially for women, because a lot of times women may not feel that there's as much of a focus in the business world for them. It may be a male-dominated field, and this gives them an opportunity to see otherwise.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny, when we were first trying to come up with ideas to help promote the opening of our center, I still get an old-fashioned magazine, and I got the Entrepreneur magazine, and on the front of it had female business leaders from different walks, and I said, so I spoke to Katie Thomas with Alabama Works, and she's been in a partnership with us, assisting getting this together. So I owe a lot of credit to Katie Thomas with Alabama Works, and we talked about how could we best get women leaders in front of our students, and this is where the symposium was born out of. We wanted people who had been in industry for more than just a minute, and different types of industry too. And some of them are entrepreneurs, some of them are working for industry. We even have some in education. So we tried to get a broad sense. So not just for business students, but for students here and maybe in communications or in education. Our female students are going to have to compete in every front. And why not have them hear from those that have done it, been there, and they can give them tremendous information and pointers on how to be successful.
And of course, and the list of individuals that are there are some local businesses, and maybe some of them, I know I saw the list on the press release that came out, and one of them was Sips here in town, which is a famous restaurant eatery that a lot of students and a lot of people in the community go to. And Lindsay, who runs that, is somebody who was a student who has gone out there and saw a dream and made it happen. And that's one of those things. And I feel that that's the kind of stories that I know Angie Horn with Bama in a Box is going to be one of the speakers as well. And these are like people who have taken these kind of like upstart ideas and have become successful business people in the community.
Right, and understand it can happen. They can make it happen. I'm very excited to hear about the stories, what they had to fight through, what kind of obstacles they had to overcome, and saying, but it's reality, it's happened. So I want these students to hear it and be able to see them one-on-one, and maybe even we're having the discussion, but I want them to be able to hear it, understand it, and maybe even having some contact. Hey, here's an opportunity to come back, maybe on a smaller forum. But this large forum, I want to hit as many markers as I could with this. And the people that I've asked to participate were more than willing. They were very happy to participate. They were excited about it. And I'm excited about hearing what they have to say, because some of them on my list I've only met in passing. So it'll be nice to hear their story and be able to cultivate that and move that into when we're doing classroom activities. Hey, remember at the symposium we heard about, or from the symposium we have coming to our class today to talk to you about a little bit more in depth. And they will be familiar with the students will be familiar with their story, and I think it'll be building a better relationship with them and our students.
And of course, if they can't make it in person for this event, there will be a Facebook Live event where people can contribute to part of this as well, correct?
Right, they'll have the opportunity to submit questions in advance, and we'll have it set up to where they'll be able to watch it and view it either during or after the fact.
Well, good. An opportunity for students to hear this, even if they can't make it that day, and anyone who's in the business field or outside of it take part.
You know, it was funny, even if your major isn't business, if you're planning to be a dentist, you got to know how to run the business. You could be a successful dentist as far as skill-wise, but someone still has to check the books. And if you don't know your business will fold, even if you have a high level of skill. So I think business goes along with just about every major we have out here.
Well, hopefully the students will take advantage of this. One more time, day, time, place.
It'll be Thursday, February 3rd at the TC Ballroom from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll have giving our opening remarks that morning will be our First Lady of the University, Ms. Janice Hawkins, will be giving our opening remarks for the panel. So that's really exciting.
Sounds like an exciting morning
Yes.
for students to take advantage.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us today and tell us
Thank you.
about it.
All right.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday. Until next week, have a good week.